We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where this afternoon WGN Sports presents White Sox baseball. It's Paul Konerko, Adam Dunn, Jake Peavy, and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Miguel Cabrera, Prince Fielder, and the Detroit Tigers. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson. He's Steve Stone as we get set to bring you the finale of this brief two-game set. As you know, in the opener last night was a good ball game, good comeback. We were trailing 5-2, came back and won that ball game 7-5. So the Sox now on a roll with Jake Peavy on the bump this afternoon.
Jake Peavy throwing the ball as well as anybody in baseball, looking for his fifth win of the year. He's absolutely been brilliant each and every time out. And he's one of those guys that changes speeds, which gives the Tigers some problems. In fact, this year he's given everybody some problems. So hopefully Jake with more of the same on a day that's going to be very lively at the park because it's very warm. Max Scherzer goes to the mound for Detroit. He's 2-3 this year. And Max, well, we've seen him twice. The first time he was okay. The second time he was very good. But his ERA is up over 5.5, so he has some control problems at times. We didn't see it last time out. Maybe we'll see it today. Let's sweep him in the series.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way. Sox came back and won that game, trailing 5-2, but they had a lot of outs to cover last night from that bullpen.
They certainly did. It was 6 innings worth, 18 outs out of the bullpen because Johnny Danks had a tough night. And last night, complete opposite of the night before, they were absolutely brilliant. Zach Stewart came on. He threw 3 innings, and he held them right there while we were losing to allow our offense to come back and get back in the game. Matt Thornton had a big inning, not only to strike out, but a double play to get out of the inning. Hector Santiago also threw well, but it was capped off by Addison Reed. He had great stuff last night, picked up his 3rd save of the year. Hawk has always said that you can only go as far as your bullpen will carry you. Last night, the bullpen was absolutely brilliant. Last night, they looked like what we envisioned when this season started. We're a half game back to Detroit.
All right, we'll be back.
for the most live sports. Today's game is available in Spanish on your SAP audio setting, provided by 97.5 FM, ESPN Deportes, Chicago's first and only FM Spanish language sports radio station. And there's a look at the skipper, Robin Ventura, who has his team a half a game in back of these Detroit Tigers. A big win last night. Come from behind, losing 5-2. You come and you take it away from the Tigers in the first of an abbreviated 2-game series before heading out to the West Coast. Jim Leland has to be a little disappointed with the way his Tigers have started. They've hit the ball pretty well. Pitching has been a little spotty. Last night we got to their bullpen, which is something that a lot of people haven't done this year, but they find themselves at 17-18, not the type of start they envisioned after 35 games. There are a lot of people who felt that the Tigers would run away and hide in the Central. Hasn't worked out that way. Cleveland has the lead. They're playing pretty decent baseball. The Indians come in at 19-16. They lead Detroit by 2. They lead us by 2.5. And the one thing that the Sox have got to do is defend the home court. And that's what they are trying to do at 7-11 this year. Not the kind of home start you would like. So on a beautiful day for baseball, 83 degrees, bright sunshine. Let's take a look at how Jim Leland's going to line up his Detroit Tigers. Austin Jackson leading it off. He's been hot. Andy Dirks hitting second. Then it's Cabrera, fielder. Avila getting the nod behind the plate. Bosch, Rayburn, Peralta, and Don Kelly starting in left field and hitting ninth. The defense and how they will line up behind Jake Peavy. Viciedo, Diaz, and Rios in the outfield. Morel, Ramirez, Beckham, and Konerko in the infield. A.J. Perzinski once again behind the plate. And Jake Peavy on the hill. Jake going for win number 5 is ERA 189. This is 8th start of the year, and they've all been ranging from very good to just downright excellent. Opponents hitting just 189. He's changed speed, 7 walks, 44 strikeouts. Couldn't ask for anything better in a bounce-back year for Jake. He feels good. He's throwing everything for strikes, staying ahead of most of the hitters, and it's been very impressive to watch in the early going. The umpires for the game today. Greg Gibson behind the plate. Vic Carapaz is at first base. Jerry Davis is at second, and Phil Cuzzy is at third. So after the game, we take off. We head to Anaheim to face the struggling Angels. Los Angeles, 8 games in back of Texas in last place in the West. So they're throwing the ball around the infield. We are ready to play baseball, ready to end this homestand. And I'll throw it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Steve, thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here over WGN Sports. So happy you could join us for the finale of this brief 2-game set. A beautiful day here in the city. Beautiful. Wow. Yesterday, today. Now this is baseball. Baseball weather.
It's about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
This year's weather pattern.
So here's Austin Jackson as Jake Peavy, our 30-year-old right-hander. First pitch of the ball game is taken high and wide. Jackson comes in hitting at .318, 4 homers. He's driven in 13. He was 1 for 4 last evening. Breaking ball and a count 2-0.
One of the keys to beating Detroit is controlling Jackson. He is their base running threat, and after him come the big bangers in this lineup.
2-0 pitch. And the count 3-0. In the opener, we had a 1-0 lead going to the 7th, and then in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, they scored 9 to beat us as errors to strike. And primarily, that was nothing but walks, the base on balls.
And Kansas City has been awfully tough on us anyway.
So that's out of play and full count. Tigers come in hitting at .254 as a team with a 4.20 ERA. And there's the dreaded leadoff walk.
Well, when we told you that this was their running game, the Tigers run begrudgingly. 13 stolen bags this year. Jackson 6 for 6 in that department.
That'll bring up the designated hitter, Andy Dirks. Dirks hitting a robust .361 with 3 homers and 11 driven in. Well, even with the bag, well off the line at third. And there is ball 1.
This is a bit different than the Jake we've seen in each of his previous starts. He had perhaps 2 bad innings. His first start against Texas, that's been about it. But normally, he commands the strike zone up, down, in, and out. Not today to this point.
And the count 2-0. Well, coming in, he had worked 52 in the third innings, 44 strikeouts, 7 walks.
And thrown strike 1, I venture to say, at least 80% of the time.
There's a strike, and the count 2-1. Cabrera on deck and Fielder in the hole.
This is where if Leland is going to run, he will. He hasn't been all that aggressive, however, and Jake realizing that it is a good runner's count, keeping a close eye on him. This combination of Peavy and Pierzynski has been pretty tough to run against this year.
There he goes. And they're going to go to, they get them at second, they rack him up. Jake Peavy. Alexei, beautiful. Mercy.
Just a great play by Jake. Andy Dirks grounding in at just his second double play of the year. Jake with a reverse spin. He gets it there. Well, it's a neighborhood play. Out at first easily. You know that old neighborhood play, don't you?
He was standing right on top of that bag. What are you talking about, man? And here is Cabrera. Cabrera is a guy who loves to get guys out of the stretch. That's one reason he's knocked in over 1,000 runs in his young career.
And he's been fortunate to get with some ball clubs that put a lot of men on ahead of him. That double play could turn out to be a big one because he had a struggling with his control Jake Peavy. Now suddenly 2 outs, nobody on.
Well, that statement that you just made is one that's really not even talked about anywhere nearly enough in the game of baseball. Big RBI guys, they can't knock them in unless they're on base.
Hit his home runs, but if you got to get them one at a time, you're not going to have a big year.
Very tough.
Nobody's hit 100 yet.
That ball off the end of the bat, looped into center field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. So there's a rich get richer syndrome right there. When he takes a swing, those outfielders, when the ball's hit, they break back a step. And then it falls in front of them. So here's Prince Fielder.
You got to play Fielder the same way. And you got to play him deep. If he hits it off the end of the bat or gets jammed, it's going to be a hit.
One and 0. Fielder 3 for 5 last night with a couple of RBIs. He hit a double over the head of De Aza, who was playing deep anyway. That's one of the most vicious doubles you'll see. We talked about him hitting. He can extend, and he can also hit with short arms. These powerful guys like Cabrera and Fielder, they can do a lot of things at the plate that normal guys cannot do.
I think knowing that it's going to be a much livelier day today, as it is during the daytime, as it is when it's warmer. It's now 86 degrees. Diaz is playing about as deep as you can play, so he's eliminated the line drive over your head syndrome. If it's over his head, it's probably leaving the yard.
Well, I like it. from De Acha's standpoint, as that's out of play. Especially with 2 out and a man who doesn't have real good speed on at first base. If you're going to play shallow here to take the ball in front of you off the battlefielder, and he does hit it over your head, then Cabrera does have enough speed to score from first.
He's not going to be able to score on a double now.
No. And that's trouble. And it's going to be a double. So now they're going to wave him on around. A good throw might get him. He gone. A beautiful relay from Tank to Alexei to AJ and grab some bench. After a half inning of play, it's the Tigers nothing and the good guys coming back.
As a leading off, he's been doing a great job. Beckham in the 2 spot, then it's Dunn, Konerko, Pierzynski, Rios, Ramirez, Viciedo, who made that good relay, with Morel at third, hitting 9th. The defense, and how they'll line up behind Scherzer, Kelly, Jackson, and Bosch, with Cabrera, Peralta, Rayburn, and Fielder. Alex Avila behind the plate, Max Scherzer on the hill. This is the 3rd time we're taking a look at Max. He was pretty good the first time. He was excellent the second time. Overall, the ERA 5 3/4, a 2-3 record, on for his 8th start of the year. Opponent's hitting .305. That's a pretty high number of batting average against.
And before we show you our BMW picks to click, you at home select yours. 27-year-old right-hander's first pitch is taken down low. There's a shot base hit and a good way to start. And as he's on first base, let's take a look at that beautiful relay play to end the first inning.
Well, a lot of people don't understand that the first half of it is important, but it's who you throw it to that's of equal importance. A pinpoint throw by Ramirez. And with Ramirez acting as a cutoff man, all you got to do is get it to him. He's got a cannon for an arm, and the question is, would he bounce it far enough away from AJ? He did. He handled it. It was played very well, and they cut down Cabrera.
Well, we have gone from 2011 to 2012. 2011, some of the worst outfield play I have ever seen in my entire big league career. Until this year is some of the best we have seen, at least through the first 37 games.
Now, 2 very good cutoffs, and it could save you a ball game before it's said and done.
Gordon takes it low and away. Well, we have not overthrown a cutoff man all season, and we have made some beautiful relay plays only because you hit the cutoff man.
And Scherzer, if he has some problems, it's going to be early, and that's because sinker ballers will have problems early in the game before it sinks. He's given up 5 home runs in 37 in the 3rd inning.
And it counts 3-0.
Control another factor before he gets his release going down. Let's see if we can take advantage by scoring a few. 15 walks in those 37 2/3 innings. He has fanned 45, however.
Gordon 5 for 19 lifetime off Scherzer. There's a strike. Max 6'3", 220 pounds, out of Chesterfield, Missouri.
Now we'll see how aggressive Robin wants to be. He knows he has a man up next who's been hitting a lot of 1st inning home runs, and Adam Dunn. Scherzer's got quick feet, and you got to be very careful on your lead. That was just a toss over there to let Alejandro know he was thinking about it.
And there is ball 4. Boy, I love to see good defense. Wow, that can just absolutely put a lot of air in your balloon.
Well, take a look at that inning. You got a man on. PV makes a terrific play, grounding into a double play. If that's not a double play, then suddenly got a base hit by Cabrera. You got a double by Fielder. That could have easily been in that inning 2 or 3 runs. Instead, it's 0, turning to your offense.
And here is Adam. Hitting at 250, 12 homers, 28 driven in. Takes down low. Adam 1 for 4 last night. And that was a big 2-run homer in the bottom of the 1st because the Tigers came out and scored 3 in the very top of the 1st inning. And he just more or less negated that with that long 2-run homer. Ball into center field. But he's not going to be able to get up in time to go.
Now, had Alejandro been able to pick up the baseball, and he wasn't on the head-first dive, he'd have been standing at 3rd base. But sometimes you're so intent on getting back to the bag that you can't pick up the baseball. And that's what happened. Alejandro right there is pretty much looking in the opposite direction.
Chops that one foul. Well, you got to give Austin Jackson. That's the 3rd time this year already he has come in on a throw that's gone into center field and stopped a man from going to 3rd. Well, but on that one, you're right. That was Diaz. He just couldn't see it.
But for a center fielder, as soon as you see a pitcher turn around, you know there's not going to be a pitch. You might as well break towards 2nd base.
And if you missed that home run last night in the 1st inning by Biggin,
well, you're talking about a 22-year-old left-hander that was leading the league in earned run average and gave up 2 towering 2-run homers. That was the first. This was the 2nd.
They have the modified shift on. Blocked nicely by Alex Avila. Count evens at 2 with the professor on deck.
Avila's really done a good job of improving his catching. He came up known as a guy who could hit the ball. He was out of the University of Alabama. Remember the Crimson Tide. Swung a good bat. They've really improved his defense.
Long set by Scherzer. And that's a souvenir left side.
Last 13 games, Adam has just been on fire. You really don't worry with him much about the batting average or the strikeouts. All you're looking for is how many is he driving in.
I talked with Adam after the game last night, and he was a little upset with himself because of chasing some bad pitches. And I told him, I said, Adam, I said, you did your job. I said, that was the biggest hit of the game for us, because all of a sudden they score 3, you come back and just erase that with that big 2-run homer. And there is a line drive, and he is underneath the attempted tag, so 1 out.
There's a break. For Gordon Beckham, he was off the bag. Fortunately, he dove to the inside, the infield side of the first base bag, away from fielder. You see that dive takes his body and his arm away from fielder, and that stopped the double play.
Well, if he goes in straight, he's out.
Yep.
So here's Paulie. Hitting at .331, 6 homers and 19 knocked in. Paulie 1 for 4 last night, and lifetime against Scherzer. 5 for 22, and of the 5 hits, 4 of them stayed in the park. Pulled a string on him with a big motion.
That's probably the most underrated of all the pitches Scherzer has, and that's his straight change. You know about the slider? He has at times a very big fastball that has a lot of movement, but he also possesses a very good straight change, and he showed it to Paulie very early in the count this time.
And the count 0-2.
Xfinity pitch tracks. Paul didn't like it exactly, but that one had the whole plate.
And tried to run that 96-mile-an-hour fastball by him. Jackson short, straight up in center. Blocked nicely. And right now let's check out our BMW picks to click. And today's picks are Jim Angio, our director and crew, was Rio. Steve's going with Dunn. And my good friends down in Orlando, Susan and Tim Boudreau. Clicking in, we're going to go with AJ. And of course, for a limited time, you can get exceptional lease deals on the 2012 BMW 3 Series. So visit chicagolandbmw.com for more information.
That reverse move is good if you do it quickly and you look like you're going to make a pitch to the plate. There's some guys who are exceptional at it. Scherzer not being one of them.
Count evens at 2. One out, 2 on. And they're taking just an inordinate amount of time hooking up on a sign. And that's fouled back.
Scherzer originally Scherzer rather, selected by St. Louis, the 43rd round of the June 2003 draft. Elected not to sign. Then he was a first-round draft pick of the Arizona Diamondbacks, the 11th player picked overall in June 2006.
Once again, the 2-2. And another souvenir.
Arizona decided to move him along. Turned out to be a very good trade for Detroit. In 2010, he went 12-11, which was good. Last year, 15-9, which was a whole lot better, although his ERA went up a full point.
Pretty good pitch to hit right there. And Paulie fouls it away right side. Now Vila wants to have a meeting.
Pretty much Scherzer's throwing him all over. However, he still hasn't gotten the good feel for the sinker yet. That first strike was a straight change. As far as the sinker is concerned, not so much to this point. And that's when what will be ground balls in about the fourth inning are fly balls and line drives in the first and second inning.
Now tipped. One thing about it, the more pitches you see, the more dangerous you become.
And also, the more you wear out the starting pitcher who's going to deliver his 23rd with only one out here in the first. Paulie gets a slider that doesn't do a whole lot and hits the top part of it.
Well, Paulie has had a couple of good pitches to hit in the sequence. Only the thing is it's been more of a defensive type with a 2-2 count. If he gets that same pitch when it's 1-0, 2-0, it's probably hammered. And a full count.
Now Rayburn's going to be the guy charged with holding Diaz at second. A lot of catchers on a double steal, if you can get the strikeout, will go after the trailer on the play, thinking he might not be running quite as hard as the lead runner. That would be Beckham at first.
Watch fielder. There they go. And that's ball 4. That will load him up. What a nice at bat right there by Paulie, falling down in the count 0-2. So here's AJ. AJ hitting at 257, 5 homers and 21 driven in.
Perfect opportunity to add to that run total. Last night he had a perfect hit and run execution in the 6th inning that helped Key. A 3-run 6th that allowed us to take the lead in the ball game.
Yeah, that was a big hit. And he takes that sinker, ball 1.
Jackson with a very quick and accurate arm in center field. Good speed at second and third.
And now that one sliced away for a 1-2 count. And what a nice catch. Wow. Barehanded. Reaching back. Give that fan a contract. What's this? Mercy.
Yeah, that's a pretty big effort right there.
All right, AJ. And there's a looper into left field. That's going to fall. So now Kelly cannot gain control. 2 runs will cross the plate, and it is 2-0 White Sox. Yes.
I love what Joe McEwing did that time, because he decided he wasn't going to run. However, when Kelly bobbled the ball the first time, then he decided to send Beckham. That forced him to try to grab it more quickly, and he bobbled it a second time, and Gordon scored without a play. Now right here he holds him up, but he bobbled it once. In putting the pressure on him, he wound up bobbling it a second time with no play and a 2-0 lead.
Good by McEwing, but also terrific by Beckham because of the fact he read that very nicely. He was busting it coming into third base, and if he hadn't have been, then Joe wouldn't have been able to send him after the second bobble. That'll be an error on Kelly, a single and an RBI if you're scoring along with us. There's a breaking ball strike. So Susan and Tim Boudreau's pick to click. AJ Pierzynski comes through. Don't stop now, boys. Change up.
And everything here in the first inning has been hit in the air against the sinker ball. It was about ready to delve into the low 30s in pitches.
Two down.
That was a pretty good slider, and he threw it in a perfect spot.
Here's Alexei. Alexei 2 for 3 last night. Takes ball 1. There's that changeup. You mentioned it earlier. That's by far, and so far in this inning, his best pitch.
Yeah, that's the one that he really takes a lot of comfort in, and it's the only pitch he's been able to keep down. He's had a few of our hitters out ahead of it. And eventually the command's going to come to him, but it's cost him 2 runs here in the first.
Tried to sneak that fastball by him at 96. The tank on deck.
A little tardy, but able to stay alive. He's not really thinking that Paulie's going to steal third, is he? As if he is.
If he is, somebody put
Avila better have another couple of meetings with him.
a cold cloth on his forehead.
Jeez.
2 on, 2 out, the 1-2. Just ate him up right there.
And still the pitches continue to pile up. So regardless of what happens the rest of this inning, he's well past the early 30s, on his way perhaps to 40 as he tries to run one right in on his thumbs.
Softly hit right side. Rayburn sucks it up, throws him out, but some damage is done. And after one, it is 2-0 White Sox. In the top of the second inning, 2-0 good guys.
And long time between innings for Jake Peavy, so hopefully he did get loose. It's a lot easier when the temperatures are in the 80s, however.
Plus, if he wanted to go in and throw a few pitches, he could do that. Right underneath behind our dugout.
Not a great start this year for Avila.
1-1 to count. Avila 0 for 1 last night. Lifetime against the Jake Meister. He's 3 for 10 with a homer.
He had his first pinch hitting appearance of the year last night and actually ended the game in the bottom of the 9th against Addison Reed.
That was a very excruciating game to watch last night.
Well, there was some troubles just about each and every inning.
It took me till the time I pulled into my driveway to settle down and have a normal breathing pattern.
Well, Zach Stewart was absolutely brilliant in his 3 innings of work, and that's the unsung long man.
Yeah, well, he came in with 2 out. I mean, 2 on and nobody out.
Yeah. And he got the win for it. Most long men don't. What most long men do is they come in, they hold the other team in what appears to be a blowout, and hoping the offense can come back. This offense came back while Zach was still in there. He threw 3 innings, gave up just 1 hit, and wound up a winner.
Payoff. Cleveland jumped all over Minnesota. 5-0 Indians. That game in the bottom of the 6th inning. San Diego leading Washington 5-1. Bryce Harper just hit his second. home run. They may never get that kid out.
No, the one problem is they lost their second catcher in the period of a week. And their second catcher went on the DL. First catcher is going to be lost for probably Ramos lost for the rest of the year, I would assume. So they're running out of backstops in Washington.
There's a flare. And it's foul. Thank you. Just foul. And a reminder, Hooters is the official road game restaurant of our White Sox. You can come in any Chicagoland area Hooters while the Sox are on the road to catch the games on their flat screen HD TVs and enjoy great Miller beer features. Hooters, that's the original wing joint. Sox will conclude this game, this homestand this afternoon, and spend the next 45 hours tomorrow and Tuesday in Anaheim, and then before coming back to play the Cubs at Wrigley on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. High pop up. Alexei. One out.
And that was a battling at bat by Alex Avila, but he lost the battle.
So here's Bosch. Brennan hitting at .232, 4 homers and 15 knocked in. Bosch 1 for 4 last night. Lifetime off the Jake Meister. He's 2 for 11. Takes ball 1. This is the 8th meeting of the year between these two clubs. In the first 7, Sox have won 4 of them. Change, nice, good motion, 1-1.
That's one of the things that has differentiated Jake now from the '07 Jake, where he won the Cy Young Award, is that great straight change he's got.
Tops that one. He gone. Yes. 2 down.
I talked to Jake about his pitching philosophy these days, and he said he not only has to go in and out, he's got to go up and down. And there's an example. He's going to top out at 92 miles an hour. But when you throw it above the hitting zone, 92 looks like 96 or 7. He was able to throw it right by Bosch.
First pitch strike to Rayburn. We got a man there. And that'll do it. 1-2-3 inning. After an inning and a half, Jake leads it 2-0.
Jake Peavy looks to be getting better, and we will see about Max Scherzer, who used a whole lot of pitches to wend his way out of that first inning.
So here's Tank. 2 for 3 last night with a homer and 4 big RBIs. And if you missed that game last night, poof.
The home run, a blast against Smiley.
Out and around it, Peralta. He has a good hands, Peralta's.
This is a day when very few people like to hit. Clyde Schoen in 1944 threw a no-hitter against the Braves. Virgil Trucks against the Senators in 52. Don Cardwell in 60 against the Cardinals. Nolan Ryan against Kansas City in 73. And a perfect game by Len Barker against the Blue Jays in 1981.
Here's Morel, Brent, at 184. Had a big hit last night. He was 1 for 4 with a big RBI.
The Anything's Possible replay is brought to you by the Illinois Lottery, who each day make anything possible.
And Avila takes another one off the face. Well, he's wearing it, at least against us, of all the other catchers in the league.
That was a square hit off the mask. Didn't knock over Avila like it did Quintero in the last series. He took one square off the mask and fell straight over backwards.
One and two the count. Two down. And while we have a moment, very special shout out and greeting for big White Sox fan Shirley Velasquez, mother of Art and Ed Velasquez, who is 94 years young and missed the game on Mother's Day because she's recovering from a broken hip. So, Shirley, hope you're getting better, honey, and we'll see you soon at the ballpark. Here's Diaza. He started off the first inning in fine fashion. Line shot single into center field. That ball hit sharply. So Alejandro, good speed aboard. He's 6 for 8 stolen bases.
Diaza has now scored 27 runs. He's been in the top 3 or 4 in runs scored in the American League. That was a cut fastball that Scherzer tried to nip the outside corner. It got too much of the plate, and Diaza, as he's been doing a great job of, is making solid contact again.
Well, and since he's moved back in center field a little bit, just a few steps deeper, he's been catching everything out. There's the bunt, and it's going to hit the cut of the grass and kick it foul. Dadgummit.
That's the second time in this home series that we've seen that happen. If it stays on the dirt or if it just stays on the grass, either way, it's most likely going to be a base hit. But you'll watch it hit the cut of the grass, and then it kicks it dead left and foul.
Cabrera likes to play deep. He's back there again. he goes. Not on that side. And into center field. So he is safe at third. Stolen base, error.
Allen breaks out the running game. No outs on the third base side of second. And Rayburn tried to make Diaza believe that he had the baseball, but this time Diaza picked it up for Avila, his third error of the year. And an off-balance throw. No chance to get Diaza at third.
Now pick him up, Gordon. Cabrera has come in now. One and two the count.
Scherzer's still going to be 550 pitches whenever he gets out of the second inning.
That's an option. Wild pitch, fastball.
Max doesn't have one this year. Troy does, however, have 13 of them. And
good pick right there by Avila.
But for the athleticism of Alex Avila, that would have been his first wild pitch, 14th for the ball club. As Scherzer steers a cutter, and Avila shows you good mobility to his right. What a pitchers love to see catchers save them earned runs by doing that.
Well, you can just put a RBI on his category. And the payoff. Adam Dunn on deck.
Yeah, that's one of the things, Hawk, I don't think people realize when they evaluate a player's worth. They look at the runs that he drives in or the runs he scores. Nobody ever factors in the runs he saves, but they're equally as valuable. I think a good first baseman can save you 30, 40 runs a year.
Well, you and I have been talking about it for the last 3 years, that everybody talks about, the only thing they talk about is Paulie's offense. How about all the runs he saved us with his defense? But meanwhile, we can't get him across, then we'll go to the third. It is 2-0 White Sox. Johnny Peralta will lead it off for the Tigers here in the top of the third. 29-year-old shortstop hitting at .252 with a homer. That homer came against us, and it was a game winner at Comerica Park. Out of play right side.
When the Tigers went to get Peralta from the Indians, they knew what they were getting. They were getting not a star, but they were getting a good solid player who would make all the plays at shortstop, not give you a whole lot of range, and get you some big hits. And that's the type of player he's been with the Tigers.
I have always liked Peralta.
When there's
I still think he's got more of an upside offensively because he's got some good hands on that bat. I've always thought if he would, instead of hold it straight up like he does, if he'd level it off just a little bit to like 3/4, he could do some serious damage.
He hit .299 last year with 21 home runs.
Oh yeah,
that was
he's got
a big
better
year.
upside than that. He's a guy that can hit you 30 home runs, drive in 100.
If he hits you 30 in that ballpark, they'll be saying something.
Well, you saw what he did to us in right center.
Yeah, well, right center.
I mean, he can go out there 10 or 15 times a year.
It's true.
He gone.
Jake again changing eye levels. He stayed down, but when he went to get him, he was at 92 upstairs. As you can see, just above a comfortable hitting zone for the right-hand hitter. Don Kelly looks at one wide of the plate. He's inning 243 with 4 driven in.
He's been a good player for these guys. He and Ramon Santiago. Can of corn. 2 down. And a reminder, stay connected to your Sox all season long. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and pin us on Pinterest. Also, reblog our unique Tumblr content. So visit whitesox.com/connect. Austin Jackson. He walked to lead off the ball game.
He walked, and he was trying to steal second base. Up for a hard ground ball by Dirks and a 1-6-3 double play.
Boy, good movement on that. That ball just was hunting him down. Take a look at the movement on this two-seamer. That's working the ball right there. Two out and the 2-1 delivery. Breaking ball, evens the count.
Jackson looking fastball all the way, and he got a little spinner and took it.
Tried to work his thumbs over on that one, so a full count. That ball hit well into left center field. Long way to go for Alejandro. He can't get there. It's off the wall. So Jackson now will make the turn. He'll go into third and pick up his second 3-bagger. This guy's going to be a star.
Well, he's pretty much right there now, and this is a good slider. This ball was low and away, and he hit the daylights out of it.
He's getting better and better.
As soon as he abandoned that high leg kick, that really was forcing him to come forward, and a lot of breaking balls. He was striking out at a prolific rate, They took the leg kick away from him. Now he's able to stay back longer. Last couple of years, he couldn't have touched that last slider low and away. This year, he almost hit it out of the ballpark.
So here's Dirks. First pitch strike. Jackson last year hit 249, 10 homers, and drove in 45. Picked up 22 stolen bases. He also had 22 doubles and 11 triples.
He's going to fly by those numbers this year.
Yeah, he's getting better and better. Pretty good pitch, even if he didn't get it. Yeah, he can get everything out there in center, right center, and left center as well.
Try to heat him upstairs. Nothing doing.
That was a nice pitch. He just ate his thumbs up. And that'll retire the side. Nothing across. It was a 2-out triple by Austin Jackson. And we'll go to the bottom of the third. It is 2-0 White Sox. Lead it off. And that is foul back 0-1.
The sinker now for Scherzer is sinking. And that's the difference between that first inning and the line drives and the second inning and the ground balls. But for Adam, he likes the ball down. This might be, in fact, exactly where he likes it.
Adam lined out to Prince Fielder at first. There's a line drive, and it's going to hang up for Kelly. That's a hang woofum. So 1 out. And Sox fans, it's time for the Chevy Youth Baseball League of the game. And today we want to recognize Bill Jacobs Chevrolet for their support of Plainfield and Crest Hill baseball. Bill Jacobs Chevrolet and your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana dealers are supporting over 30,000 young ball players in their communities through the Chevy Youth Baseball program by providing leagues with equipment kits, instructional clinics, and financial support. Big leagues to the youth league, Chevy is truly the official vehicle of baseball. Here's Paulie. He had a big at bat in the first inning. He was 0-2 and finally worked him for a walk. And that set up the bases loaded base hit by AJ. Paulie, last couple of days having a little trouble staying back. Oh, nice catch. Oh, we've seen two good plays already today by some fans.
That's right. That's right. Walk your feet. Turn your feet. That's right.
That last pitch normally is a pitch that Paulie hits.
Well, that's what happens when you're having trouble staying back.
I mean, that was a fastball. It was almost down the middle. It was thigh high. And just couldn't square it up.
And if you notice, when he has squared up that fastball the last couple of days, it's been foul. This way, left side. But he's got his PhD in hitting, and he will start squaring it up again shortly.
Career against the Tigers. Pretty good numbers. And he's got pretty good numbers against a lot of teams.
Two and two the count. And it's full. This next pitch will be number 64 for Scherzer. 2 in the third innings.
AJ in the on deck circle looking to improve on his 22 runs batted in.
That ball hit hard into right center field. Jackson came in. Stretch! You will. You can. Put it on the board. Yes! Right center field. Oppo for Paulie, the PhD. And it is 3-0 Sox.
That was pretty much the same pitch, a touch lower than the one he fouled off. Our Ford home run replay. Paulie reaches down. We told you it was going to be a lively day at the ballpark. And this one just kept on going till it left the yard. So a 3-0 lead. And two hard hit balls this inning against Scherzer.
AJ had that bases loaded single into left field. It actually scored 2, but he only got credit for 1 RBI as Kelly bobbled the ball. There's a bullet right back to the middle. Tim and Susan Boudreau's pick to click 2 for 2. And of course, with that home run by Canerco, the Alex Nellius family will donate $100 to White Sox charities for every Sox homer hit throughout the course of the season. That is number 36, so $3,600 donated by Alex Nellius in loving memory of Ursula. Here's Alex, struck out on a slider. Did not go. And the count 2-0.
Outfield playing Alex as a right center field hitter. Huge gap in left center.
And that's chop foul. And our sincere wishes and condolences go out to Gloria Meismer and her daughters Amy and Laura. Going through a tough time right now. But better days indeed are ahead, Gloria. The 2-2.
Tiger bullpen up and going as Scherzer is into the low 70s. Colin Ballister getting ready.
One on, one out, the 2-2. He better be glad that one hung too far inside. That was going to be a stone hanger.
It was heading there.
Get underneath that one.
Yeah. Elbow drop. Hand doesn't stay on top of the ball and comes in spinning.
AJ takes off. And there's ball 4. AJ got himself a little Lance Johnson jump right there.
And Scherzer, who was so concerned about his stuff or lack thereof, paid no attention at all to AJ. Pitchers go into a stretch, but they never look at first base. AJ had 5 steps. Moot point. This is ball 4.
Here's Alexei. He grounded out. Scherzer hit him on the fist with a fastball or sinker. Want to know the count. Underneath that one as well. 2-0. Steve, you being a breaking ball pitcher, I'm sure you had days that it just wasn't there. You were getting underneath.
You know, unfortunately, unlike Scherzer, I had both a curveball and a slider. My curveball was my primary pitch, but on days when he couldn't throw it, you could sit out there and try to miss with it consistently, or you could say, okay, look, this might come to me later on, but if I keep throwing it, I'm not going to be here later on. So I'm going to go with the slider for a while, see what happens, change speeds a little bit more. With Scherzer, he's just getting under everything. I'm sure that's what Jeff Jones went out there and talked to him about. Avila went out there first. Jones, pitching coach, came out there second. And if you're getting under it, if your hand's not on top of the ball or you're dropping your elbow, leading with that, you really have no chance. The ball, the ball will never catch up. And the worst thing that'll happen is not the ball that hangs inside that can't be hit. It's the one that hangs over the inner portion of the plate and winds up in the seats.
Alexei with a catbird seat. Foul straight back.
Just over your head. Scherzer is working his hardest to try to get way inside on Ramirez.
He didn't at first at bat.
And that last fastball wasn't anywhere close to the strike zone.
There's a little looper in the short right field. Ryan Rayburn is there. So 2 out. And here comes the tank. Tank grounded out to Peralta. Takes it up. 1-0 the count. Oh, Lord have mercy. That ball had right center field seats written all over it.
Right down the middle. Macedo likes the ball down. And the good hack would foul it off.
The 1-1 pitch. Change up.
Scherzer is going to deliver pitch number 80. And he's not yet through the third. That's a lot of work for 2 2/3 innings.
Well, he's had no rhythm. They have been working so slow.
Yep.
That's one of the things about guys who are struggling out there. You're better off trying to find your rhythm working faster than slower. Two on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes here in the bottom of the third. 3-5-0 for our guys. 0-3-2 for their guys.
That right off the foot of Diane.
Well, for all the trouble that he's had, actually, this could be a 2-0 ball game, except for that error by Kelly in left field. And again, they're going to have a meeting. The last thing you want your pitcher doing when he's struggling is to start thinking.
Well, one of the things he's got to be thinking about is the fact that he's not ready to deliver his 82nd pitch. So if he's thinking about going deep into the game, forget it. And also, you can tell they're going back to Detroit and not to the West Coast because he's moving very slowly.
And there's a base hit. AJ is going to be waved around. Here's the throw. It's off the mark. So AJ is going to score. Now they got Alex hung up. And they'll work that play nicely. Meanwhile, the run counts, and it is a 4-0 Sox lead. But before that, Paulie with his 7th home run of the season. 2 errors for their guys. And if you're wondering at home on that play by Alex right there, Rios, that's a good play. When you get AJ who does not run that well, all of a sudden Alex sees McEwing waving him around. You go ahead and make that turn and go on into third base.
And force him
in
to
this
cut it
case,
up.
exactly. That's a good play.
Because they're looking straight ahead. They're not looking behind them. On this cutoff, the cutoff was wide of the bag. And Avila figured, well, I'll just go to third base, get him there. They did, but it cost them a run.
Exactly. So here's Cabrera, first pitch strike. Cabrera singled softly with his song. 21 to count. Now field straight up, spread out. Out of play. And have you seen the White Sox Dynamic Ticket Deal of the Week? We'll enjoy a variety of price options for specific games and seating locations. The best tickets in the best locations directly from the White Sox. Buy early and save with the White Sox dynamically priced tickets. Visit whitesox.com/pricing. You might want to go there. First of all, you can buy early and save. Get the best seats at a cheaper price. Full count. He gone. One down. Third strikeout for the Jake Meister.
Throws another fastball, keeps it up and away, and takes down Cabrera.
So here's Fielder. He sliced a double into the left field corner. Picking up his 5th two-bagger. They tried to score Cabrera, but a perfect 7-6-2 relay cut him down at the plate. Here's a breaking ball strike, and the count 1-1. And there's a base hit on a breaking ball. So Fielder, who was 3 for 5, now 5 for 7 in this series.
Well, he came into the game hitting 278. Came in last night at 266. Before it's over, he's going to have some very big numbers. And not going to take him long to figure out this league.
Alex Avila popped up to Alexei. Good rip at that one. One and one to count.
Protecting home plate for the Tigers is Alex Avila. Last year an All-Star and the winner of the Silver Slugger Award. Catcher Profile is sponsored by Xfinity Home. Xfinity Home offers state-of-the-art features that help you stay connected to your home and family anytime, anywhere.
Grabs the strike with that changeup.
Jake changing speeds exceptionally well.
Tried to rush that fastball by him. So 1 out, 2 on here in the top of the 4th inning.
5 hits now for the Tigers. And AJ goes out to make sure they've got the signs straight with fielder standing at second base. This is a lineup really where you can't relax. There's really no soft spots.
And here's Bosch. He struck out on a high fastball. No, you ease up against these guys. You got to treat it like it's a nothing ball game.
Well, even Rayburn, who's hitting 149 against us, he's hitting just under 300. So you take a guy who's off to a terrible start, and yet for whatever reason he sees our pitching staff and he comes alive.
That changeup had him way out in front. Oh, these guys can put a 5 spot on you in a heartbeat. Doubled him up. And the count 1-2. He gone.
Good changeup. As long as you got a guy mystified, and Bosch is sitting there, he's looking for a fastball. You throw him a change. He's looking for a fastball. You throw him a change, and well, by George, he's looking for another fastball.
By George, he got the old local.
Got another change.
Rayburn went out to Rios and right. Yeah, you don't see that very often, do you? Triple up. You might see it with a curveball. That's high. Tank going over. He's there and makes the catch. So they get a couple of guys on. Can't do anything with it. A couple of strikeouts by the Jake Meister. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It is 4-0 Sox. First pitch to Morrell. Grant struck out his first trip. Sox with 2 in the first, 2 in the third. And the count 0-2.
What Jim Leyland is hoping for is maybe to squeeze one more from Scherzer. Thinking if he can get out with a minimum of pitches. See how he feels. Scherzer has saved his best sliders from Morrell.
Here's Diaz. 2 for 2. A run scored, also a stolen base, picking up number 7. He's now 7 for 9 in that category. That's into left field for out number 2. So 2 quick out, and that'll bring up Beckham.
I think Jeff Jones might have had a talk with Max Scherzer between innings, because he's getting up on the mound and now throwing the baseball instead of taking a lot of short trips around it. And if that's the case, he's doing it well, which will give you a chance to get whatever rhythm is going to come to you on a given day.
One and 2 the count. Peralta. That didn't take long. 1-2-3 inning, and we'll go the 5th. It's a 4-0 Sox lead, and just checking around our minor leagues for a few names that might interest you. Jordan Banks down at Charlotte hitting at .258, 5 homers, 15 knocked in, but Dan Johnson's wearing it out. He's got his average up to .303. He's leading the club home runs with 8, RBIs with 32.
A lot of production, the batting average for run producers, not all that important.
Greg Olson is 312. Dan is hitting that ball down at Charlotte. Brian Bruni 0-2, but he has a 1.62 ERA. 16 2/3 innings. Brian's only given up 8 hits. As here is Peralta, first ball hunting. 2 hopper, 1 pitch, 1 out. And let's see what's going on at Birmingham. Jerry Mitchell, 273, and a couple homers, 26 RBIs. He's got 7 doubles, 7 triples. And he's got that line bat. That ball just jumping off his bat. Damaso Espino hitting at 315. Drew Garcia at 316. Pedro Hernandez is 5-1 in 6 starts. So here's Kelly with a 1-0 pitch. Winston-Salem, Dan Black at 316, 7 homers and 23 knocked in. Michael Early, 319, 7 homers, 26 knocked in. Brady Shoemaker hitting 357 with 7 homers and 24. Brady is doing it all. Tops that one foul. Shuffled over to Beckham. Jake is right where he should be. He gone. Beautiful play. 3-4-1. It's easy for the pitcher to give up on that one.
Well, Jake's going to get over there. The question is the coordination between Beckham and Peavy. All he could do was knock it down. Can't control the carom, but the carom happens to go right to Gordon Beckham. Strong arm gets it there just a half step ahead of Kelly. When it's going good for you, those things happen.
So a good play. Good for Paulie. Deflected is Austin Jackson. Wow, that didn't take long. We're halfway home, leading 4-0.
DIC.
Adam Dunn will lead it off. Sox on top 4-0. Adam 0 for 2. 2 line drives. One to Prince Fielder at first, and the other to Don Kelly in left field.
Jim Leyland got exactly what he wanted out of Scherzer last inning. A very rapid, very economical 1-2-3 inning.
Change up down low. And Sox fans, join us on Saturday, May 26th, as our Sox take on the Indians. Now, the first 20,000 fans will receive a Robin Ventura bobblehead, presented by all the good folks at Pepsi Max. That's a Robin Ventura bobblehead, Saturday, May 26th. 2-1 to count. 3-1.
Once again, Colin Ballister throwing.
There's a bullet.
That almost ended the day for sure.
Well, it almost ended more than the day.
Ended the year for him. 3-1 fastball. Adam really likes the ball down. That's where this pitch was. And a rocket right back up the middle.
3 line drives today off the bat of Adam. That one could have been serious.
Yeah, he's swinging it good.
Here's Paulie. A walk. That walk coming in the first inning. It was a good at bat and figured in that bases loaded situation for AJ. And then Paulie in the third. Here's what he did.
Well, he got a low fastball. Got it up in the air. It just kept on going. That was his 7th home run of the year. He's now driven in 20.
Takes the strike to even the count at 1.
So we've got 3 of our hitters with at least 20 runs driven in. Rios and Ramirez with 14 driven in.
One. Derek Lowe picked up the victory as Cleveland shuts out Minnesota 5-0. Derek now 6-1 with a 2.05 ERA. He's got that sinker going.
How about that pickup?
Oh.
They wanted to get a veteran. They didn't know how well he would do, obviously. But they thought they were going to get a pretty dependable pitcher. They didn't know they were getting a guy that could very well be headed to the All-Star game.
And there's a base hit in the hole. Well, I was not happy at all when I saw they picked up Derek. He is a good pitcher. He's a good competitor as Cleveland comes out. Plus, he's got my money on the golf course.
Well, that's one factor.
So, Max Scherzer, he'll depart, and we'll be back.
was at the ballpark today talking to youngsters. He was talking about the weather. He was showing them what bad weather looks like because there wasn't any at the ballpark today. A lot of questions asked, a lot of youngsters learning a whole lot about the weather. And there's a man who has a vested interest in the weather, the sod father, Roger Bosser. So a good picture and a good day was had by all.
Well,
See what's possible.
There's a pair that'll beat a full house right there.
See what's possible with AT&T UVerse TV and AT&T high-speed internet. Rethink possible.
So 2 on, nobody out, and here's AJ. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. And that's going to come all the way back.
So Ballister sees the first pitch get away. And the double play is out of the equation. 1-0, ERA 6.32 on for the 10th time. Control has been a factor that's plagued him. But not hits per inning. That's been good.
And there's a base hit. That's going to score a pair. 3 RBIs for AJ, and it's a 6-0 Sox lead. Yes!
AJ now has 24, leaving him 4 behind Dunn. A big day. 3 for 3. That ball up in the zone. AJ crushes it. And those 2 runs charged to Scherzer.
Well, that's why Tim Boudreau and Susan picked him.
They picked him on the right day.
Yeah. Alex. 0 for 1 with a walk. Takes a breaking ball strike. Out and around, a curveball. 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors for our guys. No runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for their guys.
For Scherzer, 4+ innings, 6 runs on 8 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. All in all, the 3rd time we've seen him, and by far the least effective he's been.
Could not hold it up. So 1 out. Here's Alexei. He is grounded to second and looped to second. Oh, and 1 to count. Yeah, Cleveland now 20-16. Minnesota 10-26. As that's high into short right field. Bosch taking charge as he should. Then it's out number 2.
That's going to take Terry Ryan a little bit of work and a little bit of time to put that team back together again.
Well, you know, as I said last year, in my 53 years in this game, I have never seen a club decimated by injuries to their stars. I mean, it was just, I've never seen that. Everybody went down. Everybody went down. As Viciedo, then all of a sudden he come back this year, and Morneau's still having some problems.
And that's really the hard one. They let Kadire go. That was a big part of the club. But Morneau being hurt really hurts that team.
There's a force at second. But the 2-run single by A.J. Pierzynski will go to the 6th, leading by 6. 6th inning. Dirks 0 for 2. Hit a bullet right back of one hopper to Peavy in the 1st inning with Jackson aboard, and Jake turned it into a 1-6-3 double play.
Pretty good play, and seemingly, I mean, we said at the time, that's a type of play can turn the game around. You go from a struggling 1st inning to getting out of that 1st inning, giving up nothing. His offense came back, got him 2. In fact, they've gotten him 2 every other inning.
And there's a base hit. Got to treat it like it's a 0-0 game, though. These guys can jump up, bite you in a hurry. Cabrera has singled and struck out. Dirks, decent lead. That's out of play. Sox will board their charter after this ball game, head on out to Anaheim, where tomorrow night Gavin Floyd will lock horns with Jerome Williams. That game will be over Comcast Sportsnet Plus. And on Thursday, Chris Sale against C.J. Wilson. A couple of southpaws in that game. That ball is way out of here. It is a 6-2 game. They can jump up and get you, so you got to treat it like a 0-0 game.
Well, Cabrera hit that one just about as far as you want to hit one. His 8th of the year. He's driven in 31. And that one looked like it went 440 feet, maybe more. Wow.
Well, if he gets it up a little bit more, it's concourse.
It's a shot.
Nothing you can say about that. As here is fielder, he's 2 for 2. Takes a breaking ball strike. Just slapped a little double into the left field corner. Then he singled hard into right. There's a good motion with a good changeup. Well, we were talking about how some guys can get the hands in and hit the ball. Then we talk about other guys can get the arms in, bring the hands with them, and watch this. Short arms. It's amazing how far you can hit it with short arms.
He got every bit of that.
There's a flipper, and that's trouble. So he's going to have a couple of duck snorts. Throw him out. Oh.
Well, he was going to throw him out, but the ball dropped out of his hand, and it goes a 2-base hit. So the first 3 hitters here in the 6th, the triple shy of the cycle. And it looked like Prince was getting a little greedy, and that we have a shot at it. That was a changeup. Just barely hitting it off the end of the bat. Now, Diane believes he's got a shot, and he does. Not when you drop the baseball.
So here's Avila. He's 1 for 2. He popped a short, and in the 4th inning, he just rifled a single into right field.
The big man can move a little quicker than most people think.
You can't time him. You can't time him, boss. You suck too. You suck too. Yeah.
There's that change.
Get him well out in front of it.
This will be pitch number 91.
Vila, one of the few catchers at Alabama that was allowed to call his own game. His coach wanted full control.
Well, you know, that's not hard to understand, only because of the fact, unfortunately, starting in Little League, then to Pony League, then to high school, certainly into college.
Yeah, the managers.
These coaches, they want to micromanage every pitch.
That's exactly what happens, and then catchers don't learn.
No.
And by the time they come into pro ball, they don't know how to handle a staff, or they don't know how to control a game or get rhythm for their pitchers, or what pitches to throw in what situations, because they've been spoon-fed all the way. Finally, Alex went to him and said, "Look, give me a shot at it." And he finally let him do it.
Yeah, that's one of the unfortunate things. As there's another foul ball, so the count hangs at 1-2.
Yeah, I think, you talk about things that are tougher in the game today. That's one of the things that's tougher, is for catchers to come in. Catcher is expected to be the captain of that team, certainly in the infield, and understand his pitching staff. But if he never had to do that in his career any place, it's a hard thing to learn.
That got right, it is. That's up high with a fastball. Well, you got most managers in the big leagues. They want to micromanage every pitch. You know what? That's the thing about good managers versus those kind of guys. Good managers don't want to manage. They want to get their team ready to play, let them get out there, get them on the roll, and then get the hell out of the way. Let them play.
Well, it sounds like you're talking about a guy that nobody ever gives any credit to as a manager, because he was a good hitting coach. Nobody thought he'd ever have a chance to manage a baseball team. When he finally did, Charlie Manuel managed the Philadelphia Phillies to a world championship and a perennial contender. Now this year, obviously, Utley's down, Howard's down. He doesn't have the same kind of team, but he's one of those guys that pretty much understands the game of baseball and says to his players, "You know how to play, go play."
Off the glove, Jake's got it underneath the Paulie. So Prince moves into third with one out, and that'll bring up Brennan Bosch.
Another guy a little more cerebral as far as the game is concerned, because I think he paid his dues and managed a little more than Charlie managed, and has a different style than Charlie, but equally effective is Joe Madden. He doesn't micromanage a whole lot of this game.
He lets the guys play.
Right. Here, you go play. I'll tell you when you do something I don't like.
Well, to me, Joe Madden's the best manager in the game. He might be as good a manager as I've seen in all the parts of 7 decades. As that hit him. So Prince will go back.
And Jake's pitching himself into some trouble here. Might have caught a break that this hit him, only in that if it doesn't, probably gets away from AJ and the run scores. Now we're in a double play situation as Don Cooper wants to take the long, slow walk out to the hill.
Now he's thrown 97 pitches, maybe give him a little breather here. But as we discussed the other day, in your time zone, certainly in my time zone, the criteria for managing was having a manager who was good from the first pitch of the game to the last pitch of the game. Today it's turned around. It's changed. Today it's more important to have a manager who's good from the last pitch of the game to the first pitch of the next game. And that's where Joe Madden is so good.
Well, handling of personalities, and with it comes the responsibility of 25 different personalities. When you start, they're all pulling in different directions. The key is to get them all pulling in the same direction. And I always thought the best manager, forget about what a player can do, that's obvious. Learn what your players can't do and don't ask them to do it. Those are your great managers.
There's Rayburn again. I told you, these guys can jump up and put a 5 spot on you in a heartbeat. It's a 6-5 ball game.
Ryan Rayburn literally can come back from maybe a 3-day sleep and hit against the Sox pitchers. He crushed that ball. That's his first home run of the year. But against us, he hits everything hard, and that's a hanging slider. He had 2 runs batted in all year, now has 5. And that makes it a 1-run game.
So here's Peralta. Yeah, when you get a 6-0 lead on these guys, you have got to get that mindset. If you ease up whatsoever before you turn around, they're going to have a 5 spot up there. You have got to get that mindset. It's a 0-0 ball game. Peralta has struck out, grounded to third. And it counts for Eno.
And the bullpen's going to start to work.
Come back and get him. There's one. And a full count.
It's Will Oman throwing in a pen. We went 4 deep in the pen last night. Oman was not one of them. And things just seem to have fallen apart for Jake here in the 6th.
Now, AJ is going to kill a little time here. It won't take Oman very long.
Now he's going out there to tell him that, number one, get your concentration back, and obviously the added benefit of letting Will Oman throw probably another 6 or 7 pitches.
And here comes Robin. Well, Jake has just been nothing short of sensational this season. And through the first 5 here, the same. We get to the 6th. And bam, 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 bam. First thing you know, a 2-run homer, a 3-run homer. They put a 5 spot on the board. So Jake departs, and we'll be back.
setting provided by 97.5 FM, ESPN Deportes. Chicago's first and only Spanish language sports radio station.
So Delman Young has come out to hit for Kelly. Steve, you've been there. We've all been there. In this particular scenario, you've had a 6-0 lead or an 8-0 lead before, and all of a sudden you get out there and either consciously or subconsciously ease up just a hair. And the first thing you know, you're in trouble. Now mental chaos sets in and nothing works.
All of a sudden, well, he had great control and he wasn't wild in the strike zone at all. And all of a sudden for Jake, who's had 2 bad innings all year, he just ran into a bad inning against a terrific team. I mean, this is a terrific offense, so it can happen to anybody. Question now is, you still have the lead. It's up to Will Oman to protect it.
That's up high. One out, one on. Outfield straight up, spread out. And the count evens at 1.
Joaquin Benoit, part of a very talented tail end of the Tiger bullpen. Normally he doesn't come in quite this early.
Two and 1 to count with Austin Jackson on deck. No other activity for us down in that pen. Two and 2. And that hit it.
Loman spent the entire at bat trying to stay inside to Young. And finally he got one way inside.
Center fielder number 14, Austin Jackson.
So that puts the tying run in scoring position.
Jackson has walked, tripled, and grounded to short. Takes first pitch strike. So Peralta at second. Hits are even at 9 apiece. Little quick slider and the count 0-2.
Jackson's grounded in 1 double play this year, a testament to the kind of speed he has from the right side.
Now there's activity in our pen as that ball hit deep into center field. And it's an 8-6 Detroit lead.
Fifth home run. He's got 16 runs batted in. He told you it'd be a very lively day at the ballpark, and unfortunately it has proven to be just that. So entering this inning with a 6-0 lead, the Tigers reach out and to this point have put 8 up there. That was a bomb to straightaway center.
So here's Dirks. He started this thing off with a single. Two down.
triple and a home run for Austin Jackson today. What a player.
Yeah, he's going to be a star. Here's Cabrera. Here's what he did earlier this inning.
You might as well admire that one because he's not going to hit too many farther than that.
2 rows from the concourse. We got him right where we want him.
We
Give
do
him
indeed.
15 minutes.
But Avila is the only member of this Tiger team who has not scored this inning.
Diaz is there, but they put a snowman up there, and we'll go to the bottom of 6 is 8-6 Tigers.
And Dominics and look for the code word at the Pepsi Max display. Then send WGN TV a postcard and you could throw out a first pitch at U.S. Cellular Field. Pick your pitch from Pepsi Max, Dominics, and WGN. Delman Young stays in the game in left field.
Brent can't get it. He's 0 for 2 today, a couple of strikeouts. 8-6 Detroit here in the bottom of the 6th. Last inning we were leading 6-0.
6-0, making it look easy. Jake was coasting right along, but he ran into a buzzsaw in the 6th.
Well, consciously or subconsciously, if there's any let up, sometimes you can't grab it back once it's out there.
Phil Koch, the left-hander, and Octavio Dotel, the right-hander.
Bosch back in front of the track. So 1 out. That'll bring up Piazza. Alejandro is 2 for 3 with a stolen base and a run scored.
Here comes Jim Leyland. And apparently He wants Phil Koch, I would assume. Not much conversation. Here comes Phil Koch sprinting in from the bullpen. So as he hopefully wears himself out, we will step out and be back after these messages. Phil Koch comes into the game. He inherits the bases clean. Alejandro Diaz is going to hit against him first. Koch's ERA up near 6. He's 1-0. And Cabrera, at least for one, believes that Diaz is going to bunt because he's in on the grass at third. And he was right, except he didn't get it down.
If you're just joining us, we were leading 6-0 till the top of this inning when they hit a 2-run homer and 2 3-run homers. And the count 0-2.
Decided to come up. Looks a little like Scotty Pods there.
It's a great way to hit if you can do it. And the reason being is that your hands stay back. Scotty Pods, when he did it, his first at bat that he did that was in Toronto against Roy Halladay. He just shot a double down at the left field corner. As that ball is hit and going into the souvenir area. The only bad thing about it is there's some managers that won't let you do it if you start running up on them. Now it has to be coming from the manager now, because the pitchers, they don't understand it. In our time zone, if you tried to run up on somebody like that, the next pitch would be right in your ear.
Yep. They definitely would throw at you.
And they would yell in, "You don't think I throw hard enough?" That ball hit into left. Young going back. So 2 down. And here's Gordon.
Second baseman, number 15.
Gordon's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. That's into right field. Bosch has got plenty of room. That didn't take long. 1, 2, 3. So we'll go to the 7th, trailing by 2. Eight, 6 bad guys. Fielder.
Be nice to get him out once today. What a series he's had. 6 hits.
And the count 0-2. 2 doubles today, a single. That's into left center. Watch out. So 1 out.
Before the game today, Frank Holland of the WGN Morning News, weekdays from 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. threw out the first pitch. Johnny Danks caught it, posed for the picture, and all went home happy.
Here's Avila. He's 1 for 3.
You look at my mother. That's my mother swinging the bat. Let's go, Vila. Swing it.
One and 1 to count.
Vila had a big year last year, trying to find the offense this year, but it'll come to him. He's got very good power. Pretty much alley to alley.
And the count 3-1. And there's a strike. So 3-2. Davila with one down. And Bosch on deck. Another walk. And that'll bring up Bosch. 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch and then he scored. Outfield straight up, really spread out. A lot of room in those gaps as he takes ball one.
Unless Bosch grounds into a double play, you figure this is the last man Ullman's going to face.
And there's a base hit right off the end of the bat. So here comes Robin. Nate Jones warming up down in that pen. So Ullman will depart. Nate Jones will come on and we'll be back.
Jones 1-0, ERA 1.76, on for the 12th time. Walked 7, fanned 15, and 15 in the third inning. And he inherits a couple of Tigers on. The first half of this game looked really good. Second half of this game has not looked particularly good. And Nate has got to get out of a jam and keep the deficit at 2.
So 2 on, and Ryan Rayburn, a Sox killer. Boy, he has been a pain in the derriere. And here's what he did last inning. A couple of guys on.
0 for 2 at the time, hitting about 140. But he hit a bomb, and that was right in the middle of the 8-run sixth.
Takes ball 1. And the count evens at 1.
Talked to Nate, said that he'd been throwing that slider for about a year, and it's a pretty good one.
There's a shot. We just cannot get this guy out. So the walk scores, and it's 9-6.
Fourth RBI of the day. Rayburn, who came in with 2 all year, now has 6. See, it's a fastball and shoots it into right field. And it's a 3-run deficit.
And here's Peralta. He has struck out, grounded to third, walked. That was last inning, and scored. Yeah, Rayburn against us right at 295, 13 homers, and 49 driven in, and just 234 at bats.
Pretty hard to believe when you look at some of the numbers against some other people around.
Oh, it's just, well, it is what it is. AJ has something he wants to say. And now he's had it. And a reminder, our Sox and Cubs rivalry continues this season as the winner of the series takes home the BP Crosstown Cup. White Sox Cubs at U.S. Cellular Field June 18th, 19th, and 20th. Two and 1 to count. Watch out. That's going to score another one. And it's 10-6.
Now, when things start to go downhill, they go downhill in a hurry. Shatters a bat, left with the handle, and left with a run batted in. His 11th. So Will Oman charged with 4 runs in 1 inning of work.
Delvin Young can't get it. 1 out runners at the corners. If you're just tuning in, we scored 2 in the first. We scored 2 in the third. We scored 2 in the fifth. We led it 6-0. Then last inning, they put an 8 spot on the board. A big snowman. And so far this inning, 2 more. So 10-13-2 for them. 6-9-0 for us. And that's foul back. And the count 1-2. Down ball should be. Rack them up. But two more across the plate. 7th inning stretch. Not good. Not very good.
Well, it just looks like two different games. Ryan Rayburn shifts over to left field. Ramon Santiago checks in at second base.
We got plenty of time. As Koch concludes his warm-up tosses. And Adam Dunn will be the hitter. They've got the right-hander ready. Down in the bullpen. Ten, 13, and 2 for them. 6, 9, and 0 for us. Adams hit 3 line drives today, 1 for a base hit. The other right at Prince Fielder, and the other right at Don Kelly, who was in left field at that time. They got the shift on. Santiago out there in short right field. Breaking ball grabs a strike with it to even the count at 1. Jacks it up. 2-1. Big gap out there in left center.
Tiger bullpen continues to work. Sox bullpen quiet.
And it's 3-1.
For the second time, it's Joaquin Benoit.
That last game against Kansas City, Royals scored 9 times in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. As he comes back to get him one out. So that'll bring up Konerko. Pauly has walked, homered, singled, scored twice. And that is chopped foul over into our dugout. So you just saw some of the scores there. Cardinals scored 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, and 1 in the bottom of the 9th to win that game. 7-6. Soriano hit his first homer of the season. Laher hit his 10th. Now time is called. Curveball. He knew it.
Well, he just got outguessed because that ball had the whole zone. He was looking anything but, and he got a strike.
So 2 outs, and here is A.J. who was 3 for 3 today with 3 RBIs and a run scored. A.J. hitting at .276 to go along with those 5 homers and 24 knocked in. Low and away. Tomorrow night, Gavin Florida against Jerome Williams in that game on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. On Thursday, Chris Sale against C.J. Wilson in that game on Comcast Sportsnet. Breaks his bat. Then we come home Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Cubs of Wrigley. We're going to run Umber, Danks, and Peavy out there. They're going to run Smarja, Dempster, and Mahalam. We talked about the schedule this year not being a good one at all for us. In fact, it's been the worst one we've had, as he can't get that one in the count 1 and 2 in a while. But next year, with Houston coming over, going to the West, we're going to have a lot of 2-game series. Absolute players just do not like that at all. Nobody likes a 2-game series.
No. Especially if you have them consecutively.
Well, a couple of years ago they tried it, and it didn't work out very well. It just, players just hated it. It gets to the point where you don't even unpack your bag. You just put it on the side of the bed, you open it up, and take what you need out.
And then get ready.
Yeah.
To leave.
Yeah.
Especially as our situation in Anaheim with night game, day game.
And there's another base hit. So he's 4 for 4.
Well, Santiago thought he had to play at first base, but nobody was there. He catches it on the hop, and then he turned around to throw it, but Closest guy there was Vic Carapazza, and he's the umpire.
AJ thought he had a play too.
Yeah,
he was busted.
He was hustling down the line.
All right, take him out of here, Alex. Put this thing back in a little better perspective. He's due. He's 0 for 2. Takes the one away. He struck out in the first, walked in the third, and struck out in the fifth.
I would think for Koch, if he does not get Rios, we're going to see Benoit. I don't think Leland wants to see this one get all that close.
2-0 the count. Nice gap out there in left center. Three and nothing. There's one. And a full count. Into the hole, backhanded by Peralta, right over the top in time, and that'll retire the side. We're into the 8th, trailing by 4. UGN Sports tail of the tape. They scored 8 in the 6th to take a 2-run lead. Came right back with 2 in the 7th. And here in the 8th, it's the top of the order. Austin Jackson making his 6th plate appearance. He is 2 for 4, a walk, a triple, a 3-run homer. blast right over that center field fence. There's a strike. That one at 97. Two and one. That one at 97, fouled away right side. He gone. That one at 98.
Designated hitter, number 12, Andy Dirks.
So here's Andy Dirks.
Throws that fastball right on the outside corner and gets it.
Dirks started off that 8-run sixth with a single. Can't get that one, so the count evens. If you're just joining us, they have 3 home runs. They have a 2-run homer, 2 3-run homers, and they all came in the same inning.
And the man you were looking at in the on deck circle was the culprit who started it all out.
That's up high at 98.
Miguel Cabrera hit a rocket of a home run that made it at the time 6-2. Didn't worry much about it until Rayburn hit a 3-run homer. Then Ned made it 6-5. Then you started to worry. And Jackson's 3-run homer put them on top, and that's where they stay.
Count hangs full. Oh, nice play by Beckham. Yes. He can pick it.
Andy Dirks thought he probably had his second hit of the day. A one-hop rocket ticketed for right center field, but Gordon Beckham on the dive. Good strong throw. Gets him by good 2 steps.
So here's Cabrera. And here's what he did back in the 6th. Now this is 2 rows from concourse. Alexei right over the top. And a nice inning for a good-looking young pitcher, Nate Jones. Because it's Dog Day. Dog Day, presented by Hills Pet Nutrition. For more information on to purchase tickets, visit WhiteSox.com. Hills Pet Nutrition, food, shelter, and love. Wednesday, May 23rd.
Joaquin Benoit comes into the game at 0-1. The ERA, a pretty respectable 3.07. Out for the 17th time. Not asked to save too many. Jose Valverde is their closer. And he is their setup man.
Let's go, Alexei.
Here's Alexei. He's 0 for 3. That ball here well into center field. Austin Jackson. He's good.
Ramirez hit that ball hard, and Jackson just ran to the spot, drifting under it, knowing he's got this one all the way, and cradles it in the glove.
That young man can go get him with the best of them. So here's Tank. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI. Had 4 RBIs last night. Takes first pitch strike. There's a hard smash out there. That ball just absolutely just jumps off his bat. Wow.
I think Santiago thought he had a shot at that. Put the glove down, and that ball was by him into center field.
He didn't think long about it, I'll tell you that.
That's a slider. He's playing him in the right spot. But he can't get the glove there fast enough.
The 2 livest bats in this league, you're looking at one of them. The other is on the DL out in Oakland right now. Jonas Cespedes. He's the real deal.
He's a good one.
Yeah. So here's Brent. Brent's due. Last time up, Fly deep to right field. Takes it right there. If you're just joining us, that was good. A lot of fun for 5. We were leading 6-0. And the best pitcher in the American League out on the bump. But then we got to the 6th inning and things did not go well. Dirks led it off with a single. Rivera hit a monster home run. Fielder, a little soft duck snort double into left. Then there was an out 1-3. Then Bosch was hit by a pitch. Then Rayburn got a hanging slider and hit it way back out there in left center field for a 3-run homer. That made it a 6-5 ball game. Then a walk to Peralta. Young was hit by a pitch. And then Austin Jackson went way over that center field fence for an 8-6 lead. Then they added 2 more in the 7th. One and one to count.
Let's go. Yes, sir.
Get out of here. Get out of here. High off the screen. Once again, a reminder, join us tomorrow night, Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Gavin Floyd, who's really been pitching well against Jerome Williams.
Last 4 times out, Gavin's been just about as good as anybody. Finally evened his record at 3-3. Hoping to have a banner year.
Well, he certainly is capable. And that will retire the side. We're into the 9th, trailing by 4.
And it's Hector Santiago on for the 14th time. He'll be looking in at Prince Fielder, who's had a big day.
First pitch strike. Prince, 2 doubles, 2 soft doubles really, but he's going to get a lot of those because he's so strong. Had a hard single, 3 for 4, got his average up to 292. And there's got to be a reason that you give somebody breaking ball got him. Give somebody $217 million.
Yeah, it's called Victor Martinez going down. Because Detroit wasn't in that until Victor went down.
Well, I just hate to think about when Victor comes back, because as we talked about several times, Victor Martinez is one of my favorite players to watch.
He had close.
Not against us because he kills us, but he's as good a 7th, 8th, and 9th inning hitter as there is in this league.
Against everybody last year, he hit close to 400 with runners in scoring position.
They will be as good as anybody offensively. I don't care who you want to throw out there. Texas, it doesn't make any difference. Phillies, when they're healthy, it doesn't make any difference. Victor Martinez will be the straw, as Rahino said. It stirs the drink.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, bunt. Got him. So the sacrifice 5-3. And here comes Bosch, who's 1 for 3.
Well, he just able to keep a foot on the bag. But keep it on, he did.
Ten runs, 13 hits, 2 errors for the Tigers. 6 runs, 11 hits, no errors for our guys. Tigers yesterday, last night, had a 5-2 lead. Sox came back and won that game 7-5. This game is unforgiving. We come back and win that game 7-5. Jump out here was the best pitcher in the American League on the bump to a 6-0 lead. You think everything's hunky-dory?
It was for 5. Poof, poof, poof. And it disappeared in a hurry.
It did. I'll tell you, the Tigers, as we talked about, they can put a 5 spot, in this case an 8 spot on you in a heartbeat. Yep. If there's any mental let-up whatsoever. Two and two. Full count. Come on, Hector. No walks. Rayburn on deck.
Well, in the early going, we will have seen the Indians 9 times and these Tigers 8 times. We have yet to see Minnesota. We've had a lot of Cleveland and Detroit, and both teams ahead of us.
Well, I must say that with the schedule we've had and with the travel that we've had, and if we lose this ball game, we will be 17-20. Tigers will be 18-18. If you'd have told me coming out of spring training that that's the position we'd be in, I'd say I'd take it.
Well, we've played a lot of first place teams.
That's exactly right.
I mean, we caught Baltimore.
I would take it.
Baltimore is in first place. At the time we caught them, didn't realize that they would be a decent team, but they were more than a decent team. We played Texas, obviously. Don't have to tell you about that. Played Cleveland and Detroit.
Well, again, it's not who you played, it's when you played them.
Right.
We caught these guys at the wrong time.
But we have one ahead in the season series with the Indians. We will be even in the season series with the Tigers, assuming this lead holds up.
Well, under the circumstances, I'm very glad the way that Cleveland was played. Because there wasn't much doubt about who the favorite was coming in.
No, and they're still the favorite.
Yep. But all of a sudden now they're the favorites in a different thought process as far as our club goes. And there's another walk.
Left fielder, number 25, Ryan Rayburn.
So here's Rayburn. All he's done is go 2 for 4, a free run homer, and an RBI single.
Sox bullpen up and going once again. Robin doesn't want to have to go down there again.
That fastball at 93 outside.
Philip Umber getting loosened up for his next start,
Which will be game 1 on Friday against the Cubs, against Samardzija. There's a strike. Just Samardzija's slowly getting to the point he's making people forget that he was a pretty good football player.
He's been a very good pitcher all year long.
Yep. Hector, don't you move. Don't you even think about bending over picking up one of those hot dog wrappers. Come on.
He is. Maybe that'll help him with his balance, and consequently the control will be a little bit better.
It does. We're in trouble.
That's really the one thing that can stop this young man from being very successful up here.
Threw that one right by him upstairs. Pitchers have to have a certain presence on that mound. And the more of it they acquire, the better of it off of it they will be. He gone. 2 down.
Well, he can get most of them if his control is there. His stuff is lively enough. But occasionally control deserts him. Not that time, though. He threw a fastball right by him. And with visibility limited at the plate, pitcher in the sunshine, hitter immersed in the shadows, you don't want to start walking people.
Well, he certainly has the major league arm. There's no question about that. That's not even an issue. Peralta. And fans, you can come out and see our Sox take on the Mariners on Saturday, June 2nd, because also the first 20,000 fans will receive a Carlton Fisk replica statue provided by Mission Foods, the official tortilla and tortilla chip of the Sox. Purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME. That is June 2nd. And a Carlton Fisk replica statue for the first 20,000 fans. Nice pitch. Shuffles over. And that'll retire the side. Nothing across. We will go to the bottom of the ninth inning. We need 4 to tie. You can subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every White Sox out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit whitesox.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere.
Now we've got Jose Valverde coming in, just in case this one wasn't moving along quickly enough. He'll speed things up for you. It's 2-1, ERA 4.60. And usually closers in non-save situations, this is one of those, going to give up a few runs. Whatever it is, he will not rush into it as he stretches, bends, pounds the glove a bit, and accepts the baseball. He will make a couple of trips around the hill on occasion. But last year, he was 49 for 49 in save situations. Unbelievable year for him.
Here's Beckham. He's 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Takes that one at 93 from Papa Grande. .49 for 49.
Amazing year. Especially how he did it. With runners on most of those appearances. And he put him there.
There's a little flare. Fielder. So a quick out. And that'll bring up Adam. Adam is 1 for 4, but he has swung the bat well today. Lined hard to Fielder his first trip, lined hard to Kelly in left field his second trip, then hit a rocket back to the middle for a base hit. They put the shift on. Santiago out there and right field. 1-1 to count. Ball and 2 strikes. Konerko on deck. And once again, a reminder, tomorrow night, make your plans to be with us on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Gavin Floyd against Jerome Williams. First of that brief 2-game set against the Halos, and that brief 2-game trip out to the West Coast. You turn right back around after Thursday's game, when Chris Sale will take on C.J. Wilson, and come right back to play the Cubs. That game will be on Comcast Sportsnet.
Valverde right in that 30-second mark between pitches. Trying to think his way through this particular performance.
Two down.
First baseman, number 14, Konerko.
So here's Paulie. Paulie has walked, homered, singled, scored a pair, 2 for 3. Hitting at .338 to go along with those 7 long ones, and 20 knocked in. Ball hammered by Cabrera. So probably will have to pull up with this a hard single.
The catcher, number 12, A.J. Pierson.
That fastball pretty much right down the middle. Not playing the Lions with a 4-run lead. So it goes as his 3rd hit.
And here's AJ, who has 4 hits today. AJ's got his average up to 282, 5 homers, 24 driven in. Just getting home tuning in, we led this thing 6-0 after 5. As they came up with 8 in the 6th and 2 in the 7th. He will slow play you to death, won't he?
Jeez.
Man. One and one to count. And count 2-1. Where's the 20-second rule?
Anybody ever would enforce it, he'd have to leave the league.
That ball hit hard into center field. Austin Jackson will not get this one. It's off the bottom of the fence, so Paulie will hold at third on the double by A.J. He's 5 for 5. Let's make it interesting right here, Alex. Get on for Alexei.
A.J. just crushes this ball. When Jackson can't get to it, you know that it is scalded. This was a typical Valverde inning all of last year. If he doesn't inherit any trouble, he makes some trouble.
Takes up high. Alex 0 for 3. He's due. Let's give him a finish. Let's put a few on the board. And the count 2-1. Mercy. Count 3-1. Don't help him out.
They put one more man on, he'll be facing the tying run, and there is the man who will represent the tying run as Vila goes out to talk with Valverde, probably trying to slow him down somewhat. He has been rushing his way through this inning. Now the trainer's coming out. And so is Jim Leland.
Now Leland's going to the pen. And one thing about it, if that's the case, and he was hurting, and that was the reason he was taken, he always takes a lot of time, but he should have got out of there.
I was going to say, this was a normal amount of time he was taking, so you really never know if he's not feeling good.
He's got to tell it, because he's not doing his club. He's doing them a disservice. So Dotel will be coming on, and we hope he is okay. So Valverde will depart. Octavio Dotel comes on, and we'll be back. The 5 o'clock news will follow this ball game if, in fact, it ends.
It still remains in doubt with Octavio Dotel coming into the game with as many pitches as he wants. Now, he was throwing a couple of different times in the bullpen, so it shouldn't take him a whole long time to get loose. But Dotel comes in at 1-1, his ERA 3.46 on for the 16th time. And for him, this appears to be a safe situation.
If he comes in and that tying or go ahead run is on the on deck circle.
That's it.
That's it. It is a save situation.
Would be his first save of this season, and the only man besides Valverde who has saved the game for the Tigers this year.
Well, you don't remember it, but you should have seen it before they changed that rule, when guys could create their own save situations. You're talking about some fights in the clubhouse after the game. Oh, man.
Tacking on a few Ernies to the starter.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you, it was vicious. They had to change that rule just to save some lives. We had a guy in Kansas City, I won't mention his name because he's passed on now, but every time he came in, he would definitely make sure he created a safe situation for himself.
Now Dotel inherits a 3-1 count. There's 2 outs here, bottom of the 9th inning. And Alex just has to get on base to bring up the tying run.
Konerko at third, Pierzynski at second, 2 out. And that's ball 4.
So that walk charge to Valverde.
So Alexei, he is 0 for 4. He is definitely due. Last time up, he hit a deep drive into center field that Austin Jackson got a terrific jump on, went back and hauled it in. First pitch strike.
With the bases loaded over the course of his career, he's been excellent for those grand slams. Coming in his rookie season.
Here's a shot, fair ball. Thank you. Here comes one. Now they're going to hold Alex at third on the double by Alexei. And it's a 10-8 game. Yes!
RBIs 15 and 16. Cuts the lead to 2. They're both in scoring position as Dotel threw that fastball outside. Ramirez took it right down the line. Now normally, if it were the go-ahead run, the tying run, you take a chance with Rios. But because his run doesn't mean anything at this point, Joe McEwing held him right there. Jeff Jones comes out to talk with Dotel.
So the tying runs aboard in scoring position, and here comes Tank. Tank is 2 for 4 with an RBI. There's ball 1. Oh, mercy.
Got to the inside part of the plate. Not overpowering at 92. And Tank fouled it straight back.
That was it. That ball hit high and deep to right field. Stretch! 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 Dead! Give it! No! Man, mercy!
That one doesn't miss by much. He got that fastball up and away. Bosch goes all the way back to the wall. Has about one step to spare. And that's the game ender.
All right. Sox tried to come back, just couldn't quite get there by a matter of about a yard, yard and a half. And we'll be back.